Hi there, I'm Johnny Lieberman, you're watching MotorTrend, and welcome to the wonderful world of wagons. Heavyweight, high-performance German station wagons, to be exact. On my left, we have a 2025 Audi RS6 Performance Avant, and on my right, and for the first time ever in the United States of America, a BMW M5 Touring, or as I like to call them, station wagons. Under the hood of the Audi sits a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. In performance guise, it makes 621 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. BMW has a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 and a plug-in hybrid system, which means the total system output is 717 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. Both have 8-speed automatic transmissions, both have all-wheel drive, both have rear steer, and both have huge carbon ceramic brake rotors. They also both start life at about $130,000. However, as it sits, the BMW is $140 and the Audi is priced at $167,000. Yeah, you could get it for less, but it wouldn't have things like the carbon ceramic rotors, which for our comparison test, you want. Elephant in the room is the BMW because it weighs over 5,400 pounds. However, I should point out that the Audi, despite not being able to drive 25 miles in pure electric mode, it weighs 4,800 pounds. So it's not like it's light. You got to think of these two as offensive linemen, right? One weighs 295 pounds, the other is 320. They're both humongous. Several questions jump to mind. The first one being, is the Audi worth the $27,000 hike up from the BMW? The second question is there another German wagon which might be a better alternative? But the real question is, which one of these station wagons should you buy? That's what we're going to find out. Before we start driving, I thought we'd take a moment and talk about design, because when the RS6 came out, it was as much of a design statement as anything else, and it's still a very good-looking automobile. And if you're like me, you just watched Tom Hardy's bad dude character drive one around London in that show Mobland, where it just looked absolutely fantastic. This one might look even better in Ascari blue. Up front, it's the giant Audi grille. They pioneered it, they're sticking with it. It's starting to look a bit stale, mate, but okay. Very good looking. My only problem is this here D-pillar, and it's like, it's too raked. It's too coupe-like. You know, I'm seeing like Q8s, I'm seeing Cayenne coupe, I'm seeing, dare I say, Toyota Venza, whereas the M5, well, this is like a good station wagon shape. You know what I mean? This looks the part. And from the side, it's a very handsome car. That said, from the front, especially when you push into the details, BMW, I don't know why, but they've lost the ability to design a handsome face. And take it from somebody who knows a lot about unhandsome faces, you know, the Audi, while kind of stale, kind of old school, it's a better mug. And I think we can all agree the Audi is a prettier car, but I feel the BMW M5 Touring works better as a wagon. Do you like Audis? Because let me tell you something, this drives like an Audi. RS6 Avant. A couple years ago, we did a comparison test. We had the Porsche Panamera wagon, we had the Mercedes AMG E63 wagon, and we had the RS6 Avant wagon. And I gotta be very blunt with you, and you can go back and look at the tape, but RS6 was last place with a bullet. Just couldn't keep up. And I mean, literally, whoever was driving the Audi could not keep up with the other two. We had 3 very good drivers, but it was just all over the place. Sort of the same old Audi story, at least for their gasoline-powered cars. As much as I hate to still say it all these years later, it's front-wheel drive based. The big V8 is in front of the front axle, and so when you get past like 8/10ths, you just get into understeer. This same old story. I will say though, with the RS6 Performance, it seems that, I don't know, they changed something up where it's not doing it quite as much, which is nice. I think maybe the rear steering helps mitigate understeer a bit. As far as how it drives, I'm in full dynamic mode. It's a pretty chop ride. It's not brutal or anything, but it's a busy ride. Steering is weighted very nicely. I really like the steering feel of the Audi, especially compared to the feel of the BMW. But I will say the damping, the body control in the RS6, it leaves something to be desired. Especially, again, we'll look at that M5 in a second, but you will hit bumps and you're just dealing with it more than you are in the other car. But more importantly, when you go around a sharp corner, you just get some like secondary kind of, I don't know, dolphin-y movement, and you move around a lot in the car. Also, the seats, first thing, the seats in this car look fantastic. Gorgeous looking seats. The BMW seats, though, they are a level up. These just have, I don't know, they feel a price category down, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's just something kind of lackadaisical about the shifts, and it's just not as snappy as I felt in this transmission. I mean, I felt it in like the S8. It's a snappier iteration of this transmission. So, you know, I believe the BMW and the Audi, it's the same transmission, just that the Bavarians, actually they're both Bavarian, but BMW has done a better job of programming the transmission than Audi has. All right, so what's it like to drive the Audi RS6? Well, it's a little busy. You get kind of tossed around quite a bit. As we established, it's a heavy car. It's not on air suspension or anything like that. And yeah, the damping is just, I don't know, it lets the car get thrown a bit. Not so much even the bumps, but it's more like when you enter a turn, it kind of like leans and leans and leans back. And so you kind of have these like secondary, tertiary movements where, you know, instead of just being able to concentrate on the turn, you're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, that sort of thing. Not bad per se, just get out. We're doing a comparison test here, and the M5 does not do that. The M5 also doesn't ride as harsh as this. It's a bit of a choppy ride. In dynamic mode, I do like what they've done with the steering feel. It feels great. However, as I've been saying for way too many years, most Audis, the one that's powered by gasoline at least, the engines are too far forward. They're in front of the front axle. That means they're in front of the wheels doing the steering. That means that they fight polar inertia. They don't want to go left or right naturally. They've done a great job masking it. The rear steer does help. I think it's better here in the performance than the regular RS6, but you get past 8/10 and it still wants to understeer, and it's just something that the M5 doesn't do. Then the price, $167,000 for the car that I'm driving. That's a lot. Would I pay that for this Audi? So, to sum up the Audi RS6 Performance Avant, big improvement over the original RS6 that we got here in the States 5 or 6 years ago. This one drives much better. A lot of what I've complained traditionally about Audis and plowing the nose through corners is fixed by the rear steer. Power's great, handling's pretty damn good, it's fun. So yeah, I'm into it. But that said, let's go see what that BMW M5 Touring is all about. Where to start with this one? So I think what we need to understand about the M5 Touring is that BMW really erred on the side of luxury. This is a luxury machine that happens to perform really, really well. It's very comfortable. I like the interior of the Audi, although it's a bit dated. I really prefer the interior of the BMW. One exception, the screen. I don't want to talk about how it works or anything like that, just the integration. Like, yeah, it's a curved screen, which was exciting a few years ago, but it's just sort of glued onto the dash, and there is a better way to integrate it. Rivian. That's the only thing. Other than that, I really dig this interior. I love high contrast leather like this, and again, just the comfort levels, the ride quality, just it rides wonderfully. And then straight line, not only doesn't make more power than the RS6, but because of the hybrid motor, you just floor it anytime you want, any gear you want, and just go. No delay, it's rapid and instant. Look, I'm sure the turbo's got a spool, and I'm sure the transmission's got a kick down a gear or two, but you'd never know it from behind the wheel. It's just motors ahead, which is awesome. And then in terms of handling, it's really good. And remember something, I want to just take a moment and point this out. This is the M5. There will be an M5 competition. There will be an M5 CS. Sort of know how these manufacturers think these days. So this is going to be the softer, least sporty of the big sporty M5 models, but this is just tremendous. And again, I'm going to stress the luxury part because again, they are luxury cars. Like the A6, the 5 Series, they're premium luxury cars. And this one, like, it's crazy. It's got a really squeaky seat for some reason. I would take it to the dealer and say, make it stop squeaking. However, at 100 miles an hour, I can still hear this squeaking because it's just calm and quiet in here. From the driver's seat, it feels quicker than the Audi is, especially in real world situations, not in launch situations, because you're just able to hammer down and you got the electric motor. Definitely prefer the way this thing goes around corners to the Audi. I like the ride quality of this better. I think it sounds better. The brakes work better. Amazing, but true. This is an athlete. A big athlete, but an athlete. Wow. Yeah, the real difference if you do drive your cars, and again, you know, is everyone gonna pound their performance wagons in canyons like this? I doubt it. But if you do, not a lick, not a hint of understeer. The M5 just figures it out. It just loves to go around corners. This is a pretty cruddy road in terms of bumps. It's funny, on flat pavement where we initially reviewed the vehicles, this was moving around less in the corners than the Audi was. However, on a bumpier road like this, it again, I think it's just because it's a more luxurious tune. How do I put this? It's a more severe move. It's dealt with quicker. The event is done faster than the Audi, but this is feeling the bumps a little bit more. So, point for the Audi, maybe. Other cool thing about the M5 Touring is if you want, you can switch to rear drive. You don't have to stay in all-wheel drive. And again, that's one of the many advantages of basing your car on a rear drive platform instead of a front drive platform. You're able to do that. Let's just tally this up a little bit. Okay, we know the BMW costs much less in this case, you know, $27,000 less. It's a better luxury vehicle with a much better seat. It's a better cornering vehicle. It's a better car in terms of acceleration in the real world. If you launch both these, Audi's got a launch mode. They're about the same in a straight line, but in the real world, you just hammer down on this thing and you're going because of the electric motor. Even if you look at what the Brits call the boot, the back, right? The hatch, when you lift that up, you can just see that the BMW is wider. It's got a more useful, you know, luggage compartment. So, you know, again, I think the RS6 is a big improvement over what came before, but this M5 Touring is really good. And therefore, and this comes as something of a surprise to me, but the winner of this particular MotorTrend comparison test is the 2025 BMW M5 Touring. What a wonderful wagon.
Hey, so if you made it this far, yay, that's great, because you love wagons just like we do. And if you remember, when we started this video, there was a third German sporty wagon. That's right, the Porsche. And why'd we have it? Well, you know, it's MotorTrend. We do a lot of testing. And happened to be the same week as the Audi and the BMW. And we said, well, the more wagons, the better. Now, it's not a direct competitor. It is all electric. However, we said, you know what? Let's just throw it on camera, see what's what. So here's a little clip to show you how it compares against the RS6 and the M5 Touring.
Ooh. Okay. I'm in the 2025 Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo Turbo S. Looks like 1,000 horsepower and it can go off-road. Is this the ultimate high-performance German wagon? No, it's not. First things first, they got rid of the Sport Turismo, which was the normal Taycan wagon. Now it's only the Cross Turismo, and that's a bummer. It's just not. Now look, For a lot of people, they're sort of like never EV folks under any circumstances. I am not that person. But as good as this is, and it's good, no, I would totally have the BMW over this. RS6, need to drive them back to back more. But yeah, you know, I've just never been the world's biggest Taycan fan. And while the refresh is great and the range is improved and the power's up and all that, I'm just still not the biggest Taycan fan. I am, however, a massive, as I mentioned, RS e-tron GT fan. And if Audi could figure out a wagon version of that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.